Thinking back in life, sometimes I say to myself, what went wrong? I don't know. But it depends on how you think about it. How do you gauge your life? How do you look back at your life thinking, is it wrong? Is it bad? Is it good? Things might not seem as bad as you think. So let's think about this. I'm going to use my life. I grew up, I miss my old life crazily. It's just I really do. I just miss it like, oh man. But I do believe stuff happens for a reason. Not only is it a learning process or just something lessons, I believe hugely in lessons we need to learn to not only have growth in life, spiritual in life itself and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not getting too new age on you, if that's even a word anymore, but it's a word the kid uses. But I just say, where I am right now, is it good, bad, or ugly? So, grew up Italian, had a great family, typical arguments, bitches, moans, all the common stuff, rebellious teen, fast cars, fast girls, too many fast girls, trust me. That's why I live like a friggin' monk now. Tell me about it. If you got stories, let me know, because I always want to hear those stories, that's for sure. Guys or girls. Anyways, I always say to my friends back then, if I survive my 20s, I'm good for the rest of my life. I have lived a crazy life like almost no other. I'm going to give you, for instance, now, turning back the old wheels now. I know when I say this, people are going to go, oh my God, I remember that. Back in 1989, I had a white 350 Pontiac Formula, brand new, out of the shop, not shop, the dealer, awesome. And that was a freaking lightning rod. Awesome. I could, if you knew what I was talking about, I could keep up with 5.0s like nothing. A great car. Now, didn't have it that long, but just a great car. There are stories that go with it. So, I had the Formula. Being Italian, where else would I be in Massachusetts? Revere Beach. Absolutely. So, Revere Beach being my second home, I'm cruising with my current girlfriend at the time, and we're cruising up and down, and you're doing the old turnaround. So I go up towards at the end of Revere Beach where the rocks are. I go turn on the I think it was a parkway over there, and I said, turn to her, and I said, I'll bet you I can make you cry. And she goes, yeah, right. I said, put your freaking seatbelt on, kid. We're going for a ride. Now, long time ago, I got that freaking car up to 150 miles an hour on the Linfells Parkway. I remember saying to myself, God, if you get me past this, I'm good. I'll never do anything like this again. One last crazy hurrah, and that was it. We were going so fast that all those bumps were going like this. The car was just planted to the ground. It was incredible. Not a shake, rattle, or roll. It was brand new. We had our seatbelts on. But I remember that thing going up, 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 up. And there was a pickup truck miles away. And boy, did it come up fast. So, it was coming up too fast. Let off the accelerator. Did my thing. Thank you, big guy. Oh boy. And that was it. Last time. Man, what I look back and the girlfriend's, she's like this in the passenger seat, and I was like, oh man, what a ride. I want to hear your stories too. That's all we did down Revere Beach. Show off. I happened to be a bodybuilder back then. I was Italian. I had it all back then, kid. And you throw in the IROC / formula. Come on. What else could you want in life back then? So that's all we did, you know? And it was cruise down the beach, hang with your friends, meet girls, talk to the friends, the guys, hanging out, hitting Michael's Seaside. I don't even know if it's still open anymore. Had a good time there. And then every single time on the way back, past Kiss 108, we hit it. Hojo's, baby. Had to have something to eat late at night before we went home. Couldn't close out the night too long or too late. But we had a great time. And then one by one, it was like a silence that no one wanted to talk about. We all knew that was the last hurrah. This is the last summer. Because you could kind of tell, yeah, we're getting older. We were either getting late 20s or some of us were getting into their 30s. They were pairing up with people. Life was getting a little more serious. And even I felt it, but I was a stickler. I mean, I was that guy that for 2 years after, every once in a while, you cruise down the beach and go, wow, it really is over, huh? Wow. And go home type of thing. Great days. But so using the word, where did it all go wrong? Well, like I said, great adolescent, stupid, funny. I learned so many lessons, guys, it wasn't funny. But you grow up, you think, it's funny how when you're in your 20s, life always changes, no matter what. You think, boom, that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. And then life says, you hear the world laugh at you and go, yeah, okay. And it just does. It changes. You make stupid decisions. You make crazy decisions. You make rash decisions. It's just hell. I got married because the reason why I got married, I had, I think, 3 jobs. I was working part-time at my gas station. And it just felt like the gym was getting old. I was getting older. It felt like the thing to do. So this girl came in. Lots of girls came in. And, okay, she was blonde. The one blonde I date, I usually date dark-haired, small Italian girls. That's all I really dated. It's all that kind of seemed to go with me. I wasn't complaining. So the one blonde I go out with, I marry. It doesn't work out. Shit happens. Life goes on. Life moves on. You take jobs, you leave jobs, you try new jobs. Life is throwing you left and right. You start feeling about like almost, well, I was, where should I be in life? What does society expect of me? And where do I want to go in life? I had an opportunity with a couple of groups of friends to move to California to be an actor. Yeah, I did my share of acting. You know, you don't know anything about me. The last movie I was in, I'm not shitting you, was The Wind, the America's Cup race. I am in that. I'm only an extra. I am in that. I know. I can't find myself. The one shot that I know I was definitely in, they're at the docks and the guys are coming back And I made sure I was in the crowd right where, because as he's coming off the boat, whoever it was, maybe Kevin Pollak, I think, was in that movie. And as he's coming down, the director says the crowd spans over. And I was there. I was probably saying, I was in about 4 movies and 2 or 3 episodes of TV. Again, extra stuff, scenery stuff. Never got in SAG, never did any of that stuff. But I was just loved it. In fact, going way back, the very last time I thought about acting was when they tried out whoever, they were looking for someone to play Robin in one of the Batman things. And I think it was in Boston or New York or something. And I said to my friends, I'm still kind of into it. And I said, nah, I'm getting older. Nah, I don't want to deal with the what do you call it? The people I forget, the people who get you the jobs and this and that and the studio. And I said, nah. I did have an offer. I wasn't sure if it was Up and Up. It was from New York for a soap opera. And at that time, I got this offer. And at the same time, they said, come on down to New York. We'll set you up in, I don't know, Days of Our Lives or whatever the hell it was. I don't know. Maybe it was real. Maybe it wasn't. But at the same time, 2 or 3 of my other friends that were hanging out and doing acting, I heard their stories. And their story was, I sold everything I had, went to New York because I got this offer. And when I got off the plane, nobody showed. There was no offer. Wow. That was in the back of my mind because back then I didn't have a cell phone to call these people. Even though I called them, you didn't get nowhere. You didn't know who to call. It was very fuzzy. So you start thinking, yeah, it could be the greatest gift of my life, or it could be the greatest horror show of my adolescence. What do you do? So I declined and I said no. I don't want to take that chance. I heard too many horror stories from the other guys. And basically, you're thumbing it back because you wasted all your money trying to get there. And then you got to rebuild your life again. So I didn't go to California. I had one other option with another friend, so-called friend, that I was supposed to do the same thing, go to Florida. I like Florida. Cool, been there once. Okay. I sold my caddy. It was funny. I sold my Cadillac. He went down first. And I said, okay, I'll meet you there. I sold my Cadillac at the time. It was beautiful. White on white. Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, my dream car. Awesome. 1988 or 89. Loving it. I had to get the red interior. Couldn't find the white on white on white. But anyways, sold everything, getting ready, telling my mom I'm packing, getting stuff plans out. The phone rings and he says, don't bother, I'm coming back. What? What the hell happened? And I said, dude, I sold my car. Oh, he goes, then come down, do what you want to do. But I'm coming back. I found out, I think I was just dead weight for him because he ended up, what I heard, living with his uncle or someone, and they didn't want me around. So I was kind of cut loose. That's where you got to say, beware of friends. Still, everybody's out for themselves, and I'm not faulting the guy. I understand when a situation or an issue comes up, it's me, myself, and I. Hey, I do the same thing. I understand that. But, dude, at that time, my car was my life. It was like, that was my cruising mobile. That was my everything. I got past it. Never talked to the kid again. I don't know what the hell he's doing. that. And then I just said, no, I just got to get down. I'm in my early 30s, late 20s. I got to figure out what I want. I got to figure out life. It was just crazy crap. And it was just, man, I don't know. But I figured it out, and one thing after another. Anyways, ended up staying with mom for a while. Married, divorced, all that stuff. She was failing, took care of her for a bunch of years. And then you get into your 50s, fast forward, you're in your 50s, she's passed away, and you say, you're at another crossroad in life, and you say, what's the smartest thing for me to do? Well, downsize. I'm sitting here, I gotta share half with my sister. That's the noble thing to do. And I said, okay, I got so much money, what do? I bought a mobile home in New Hampshire where I wanted to be. Plain and simple. Do I regret it? No, I really don't. Was it an adjustment? Absolutely. But I tell you, I think God has a plan for everything, and it's just a series of lessons for you to learn. And adolescent was its own, it was like a bucket of lessons going here, figure this out. That's what the 20s were. Then 30s, 40s, into the 50s, marriage, divorce, no kids, taking care of the parents, jobs, trying to find some fun, figuring out life. It goes on and on and on. So here I sit in my mobile home, making good money decisions. I think. No, I'm not wealthy, but I'm still ahead of the game. So, good, bad, or ugly? It ain't ugly. Good comes and goes. Bad? I'd say it's a 50-50 thing. I'm content where I am. I don't have a ton of bills. That gives me the opportunity to try new things. I've gotten deeper into the prepper thing. Boy, am I cheap. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, which takes me to YouTube. Hey, I'm one of those guys. No, it's a great part-time job. I'm getting paid anywhere from $100 to $500 a month. It varies. Depends on how many times you like this video. Subscribe, loving it. Thanks, guys. On to the next video.